just the fact that we spend so much time in the internet or on the computer, and I don't know, there are many ways of how the world gets imported to the net. Like Google rebuilds the world in Google Earth and scans all the books and all the libraries, and I write all my communication on the computer. I don't write letters anymore and all that stuff, and it's very natural to us. It just came step by step, and we are used to it. But in fact, just what does change in real life when I go outside to the bakery, or when I just walk on the street? What does happen in the city? And yeah, I have some answers to that, but not a single answer. And all the pieces I'm working on are somehow related to this tension, or this relationship of these two worlds. Yeah, and therefore I do it very literal, that I take objects from a computer game and just rebuild it in physical space, like the WoW project, where everybody builds his own name and carries his own name like in a computer game. And this is a very literal way to transform this from the digital world to real life. But of course, these things won't happen that way. I mean, Google will not build a red map marker in the city.
But you do.
Yeah, I do, and I do these things to make you think about it, because we're so used to these objects as small icons on the screens, or maybe as interface objects. And then when you put them in the real world, it's like, oh wow, wait a minute, there's something not right here, and so people maybe become aware of these differences of these worlds, and in fact, to stay with the example of Google, will not build the red map marker, but I'm pretty sure that there's a certain point when, for example, with the advertisement, they will go into the city too, on billboards, like on interactive billboards. I think that's the very next step, that everything is sucked into the digital space, and parts of it coming back already in different ways. It's like you cannot really see it, or it's not nothing you experience when you walk in the city, but just the fact, the way how we communicate with mobile phones and all that stuff has changed so much. Yeah, they're very the classic example is when you go on the metro and then you miss your station and you want to press Control Z to go back. There are certain things we learned in digital space you would love to apply in everyday life, but it's just not possible, because when I break a glass, it's broken. I cannot undo it. So, and yeah, these are it's similar to the other questions, or it's all on the same topic, but the fact that we now we are talking to each other face to face, and we're very used to that, and I can turn around and write an email or a message on my phone, and it's also just very natural, but it's different. It's just the fact that I don't see this person, or when I chat to somebody, I have these projects talking about chatting on the internet, and it's a very narrow channel, and you don't see the people, and sometimes you misunderstand what's going on, and we put a lot of feelings in some small sentences sometimes, and it's interesting that we rely on what's going on the screen, but it's maybe I get to know somebody on the internet in some way of communication. We got to know by email, and then you make up an image by the mail, even if it's a very vague image. But the moment we meet, then you get much more to know from the other person, and that's so we are in the middle of this digital and analog world. I mean, that's how we communicate. I work on the screen, I turn around, I can talk to somebody, and we can just connect both of them, and it doesn't really, like, we are very flexible to it. But these worlds are very, on the other hand, they're very separated. I mean, it's all happens on that screen, like small screens, big screens, and it's all is in there somehow. And when you turn it off, it's off. So I hope it's obvious that I'm trying to make sure to make people aware of that. We are still human beings, and we won't escape our bodies into the matrix, being totally digital. We won't. So, or not soon, not very soon. So it's good to be still able to talk to somebody, I don't know, in a bar you don't know, and you maybe don't need dating services, and everybody looks on the small screen what is happening next to me. I mean, there are all these services out there and all the social web stuff, which is very efficient and opens up new ways of communicating. It's very interesting, but it should be more used as a catalyst for what's going on in real life. And it does, I mean, certainly. But some people, that's maybe also a general statement for these whole three questions, that just the fact that Western society is so much influenced by the fact that technology helps us. Mm. Technology is always good. You could save life in medicine, which is true, and help us solving the global warming or whatever. But and on the other hand, of course, all the industrialization destroyed the planet. But when there's a new device or something new coming out, or some scientists developed a new device which can do this and that, and the iPhone, of course, is a very nice communication tool. But in fact, I think we at the moment you have to look very closely what you're doing, and if this tool or device really helps you, or if it just keeps you distracted from what you want to really do, and maybe look more precisely on how you use technology, and do I always need a technology to solve a problem? Maybe it's much more simple to take a piece of paper and write a note.